fact that your business has closed is not a big deal, but this is the big deal. First thing I want to say is, here's the real problem. If you've been with me for a while, you'll also know that I often say the problem is not the problem. Here's the real problem that we're dealing with today. The fact that your business has closed is not a big deal, but this is the big deal. The big deal is there's fear in the marketplace. There is genuine, uncontrollable barriers to doing business. For me, it has been the biggest barriers, or there's a genuine outside force that's preventing you from mobilizing certain areas in your business. I personally have never experienced that. I've never traded ever in my life where there's a genuine outside and sometimes hostile force preventing you from doing the business, doing the thing you need to do to survive, to pay the rent, provide for your family. And that's been a really weird place for a lot of us to be in. I know when the practice is closed for me, I was really battling with I don't know if I'm alone here, but when the practices first closed for me, I really battled with the following concept, and the concept was, what did I do wrong? I don't know if you guys can relate to that, right? So like it was this battle between, surely I did something wrong, right? Now there's two ways to respond to things. Either there's two types of full 100% response or accountability. One form of accountability is that everything's your fault, and everything is your fault at the end of the day, right? But this was like a genuine outside force. The other form of accountability is that I am 100% accountable for how I respond to the outside stressor. And this is the first time in my life, honestly, first time in my life where I felt that absolute massive loss of momentum due to a unparalleled outside force, just stopping trade. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be close to 8 months of some type of restriction to trade. And the thing is, we've got people from all over the world on this. So all of you have got different restrictions to trade. Loss of momentum, which is, I think, the most devastating thing to going through what we've gone through. It's not that we've closed, that's the challenge. It's that we're losing momentum. And loss of contact is huge. So in our business, please write these words down: frequency and consistency. Frequency and consistency are all bred from more frequency and consistency. And there's a very famous book, if you've been in the marketing world, you'll be surprised to hear this, but there's a book that a lot of marketers are told to read to learn how to market any business correctly. And you may have heard of a book called Purpose Driven Life, but there's a book called Purpose Driven Church. Okay, and it's really a marketer's guide on how you grow any, if you will, tribe. And in the book, he talks about how frequency and consistency, and how they've got a rule. The author of Purpose Driven Life and Purpose Driven Church, it was one of the first mega churches on the planet, and they will look at their show up rates, and they will measure, and they will go in depth, like you should be going in depth. I'm going to give you phase 1 of my strategy right now, but you should know who is missing appointments, who's not showing up, etc. And even in these mega churches, they will be able to measure those things. The first thing they'll be able to show is 3 Sundays missed. The rule is 3 Sundays missed, no Sundays ever. Think about that for a second. 3 events or 3 gatherings missed, no events ever. That's like their rule of thumb. Like, think about that concept for a second. So now we've had to deal with the situation of some of us 8 weeks longer of, if you will, events missed. Now, how do we gather up that momentum again? I don't care how good you are. I don't care how loyal everyone is. We've had an influx of new patients just organically phoning us too, but we've got some genuine barriers coming. So next challenge is loss of support from your team. I know I found that when I wasn't able to delegate as much as I was normally able to delegate. And that was a real challenge for me, because even though we had furlough schemes all over the planet, we also lost the ability to mobilize our teams at times. Those are some of the challenges you've dealt with. Another one is capitulation of new patient avenues. I always say you should trade from a place of being able to trade even if you lose the source of income, or the source of new patients, or the source of new patient acquisition. But what happened here is almost immediately overnight, we lost multiple forms of new patient acquisition systems, right? And here is the big one that no one's talking about: the mother of all recessions. Nothing like we've ever seen. It was the exact words of Chancellor Rishi Sunak. The exact words of, we have the mother of all recessions coming in. That's 40% of furloughed people. 40%, they estimate, will not be unfurloughed, will not have a job to come back to. 40% of all small businesses are small high street businesses, if you will not be able to come back to trade as much as hard. Small. That is insane statistics, right? So the reason I'm telling you this is, there's two types of motivation, towards pleasure and away from pain. Often away from pain is more motivating than towards pleasure. So I absolutely need to stress that it's not business as usual. That's the only reason I'm giving you that slide, is because the worst thing you can do right now is just think, oh, well, I'm sure it's going to be fine when I come back. It's just not true. It's just not going to be the same. You can make it the same, but you have to be proactive. Remember, more doing. Now it's all about more doing in some way, shape, or form. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope it helps you grow your practice. My name is Rieder. I generate $7 million every single year from 8 practices, 10,000 new patients. Last year alone, I've been doing this for the last 10 years. And if you enjoy this video and you enjoy my content, I highly recommend you grab my book. I put everything that I've learned in the last 10 years and $7 million every single year, 10,000 new patients in the book. Grab the book, click on the link below, it's completely free of charge. All you do is pay for the shipping, we pay for the book. Enjoy the content, enjoy the rest of the videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope that 2020 and your practice grows more than you ever could have imagined, and I hope that the book's part of that journey. See you soon.